Your quantum leap, your highest timeline is here now through your sacred heart, through your living transmission and embodiment of the truth of who you are. And you are not this human name, body, title, role, the mask that you wear, all the things. And we're not discounting the human condition, but you cannot be solely identified as that. And even though you have a heightened level of awareness, and you've cultivated and you've done all the healing work, it cultivated the higher state of consciousness, and you've done all the healing work and you've alchemized all the things. This is the last thing that clicks into place for you to be fully free and sovereign. And when you're living here from your embodied presence, there's nothing you can grasp onto. There's nothing you can cling to. There's nothing to run from, and there's nothing to chase or seek. You are the creator. You create from divine expression, from your intuition, from the intuitive life force energy that bubbles up through you, creating whatever wants to be birthed through you. But when I say you, I'm not talking to the human you that thinks that you're this person that's watching this video right now. Because you don't truly exist. You are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are not your belief systems. You are not your perceptions. You are not the body. You are not your conditioning. You are not the roles you play. You are not the masks you wear. What's left? What's left when all of that falls away? And don't worry, because the egoic mind is going to try to cling to all of those things in order to stay the boss, right? The egoic mind wants to take control and stay the boss. And it knows that when you come home to yourself and live as the presence that you are, it has no control over you. And then it gets in line like it's the assistant to the heart versus the driver of the train, so to speak. So don't worry, you lose everything on this journey. You die to all of your attachments. And only when that occurs are you able to then play and receive all of it. It's very paradoxical. If you are not living in paradox, then if you are living in a reality where all of this makes sense and you are not living in paradox, you are not close to your highest timeline, to the quantum shift that you think you are. Because none of this makes sense to the logical mind. None of this makes sense to the analytical, logical, rational mind. When you live from your embodied presence, there is nothing to seek, chase, cling to, or run from. There is just you with you, life itself, with no filter. It's a very vulnerable way and freeing way to be living because you're no longer living behind a false mask. And this presence is the gateway and portal to your highest timeline, which means this has to be enough. This has to be enough. And if this isn't enough, right here, right now, what's unfolding, the journey, the expansion, the organic unfolding, the unknown mystery, if this is not enough for you right now, here and now, then you are still in your seeking energy. You are still in your chasing energy. And the seeker dies on this journey. You will no longer be the seeker as you move in and shift into your highest timeline. You will be the creator and the creation simultaneously, fully embodied in your truth, in your authenticity, because you can't fake anything anymore. You can't hide behind any masks anymore. And there's nothing there to judge you anymore, anyways. So you don't feel you need to. Because the self-judgment, the self-blame, the self-consciousness, it all goes. It all dies with the old timeline. So how much duality can you hold? And when I say you, I'm not talking to the human character and avatar that you are playing. I'm talking to the true you that's playing that human avatar, the divine presence and consciousness that is always here, the presence, the essence. The infinite intelligence, the divine wisdom, the Sophia that merges and marries with the consciousness to create form. You are prior to all of duality. So when I say how much duality can you hold, it's not from the identity of the little mind. The little mind can't hold duality. The identity entity that you thought you were your whole life cannot hold duality. It will only be subject to it like a little ping pong ball going back and forth between good and bad and future and past and all the things. And you will be constantly seeking and chasing or running from something outside of yourself until you be the one that is connected to all things. All life. And when you become the one, which is not really a becoming, it's more of an unbecoming and a taking away of everything that you are not, all the lies of falsehoods and illusions, and you come home to the truth of who you are, a sovereign soul, a spark of the divine, living out this human experience in the 3D, which is divine, because there's only one appearing as many, and you are that. And when you are one with all that is, which means you're no longer identified with anything outside of yourself and you're no longer hooked by your attachments, chasing and seeking outside of yourself, and you've let it all go. You've surrendered on this journey. You magnetically attract it all in. It's a paradox because now there is no more separation between you and you. You are no longer having this subject-object relationship with life, even though the game of duality will still play, and you came here to play it, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the human journey. It's the play we came for. This, but you are no longer identified as the separate sense of self. You are no longer the mask that you've been wearing this whole time, called fill in the blank with your first name. Whatever your name is, whatever your identity is, your personality, your body, all the things like that identity, you're no longer identified as that. You are prior to that. And you are prior to all of the conditioning and all of the beliefs and all of the thoughts. And paradoxically, it all rises from the one and dissolves back into the one. So paradoxically, you are all of those things, but you are not identified as those things, if that makes sense. You are everything, and you are no thing simultaneously. You are the unknowable mystery. You are one with that. And you can't know that. You can't understand that. You can only be all that you are without the illusion, without the lies, without the falsehoods, without the untruths, without the conditioning, without the patterns. Those will still play out, but you're no longer identified as them. Now you are free, sovereign soul, fully human, fully divine, simultaneously living and breathing this human experience through this vessel, through this channel, which is your sacred altar. It is your temple to awaken through and embody the truth of who you are. And only as you do that can you share and express it in the world in a way where it will land and magnetize in your highest timeline and the souls you're here to activate and the however you're here to serve, because I'm speaking to the leaders. I know who I'm here for. I lead the leaders of a new earth paradigm. So you can't expect this to make any sense. A, because you're leading it. No one's ever done this before through mass awakening, collective consciousness rising, and global awakening. And it's beyond the mind. It's beyond language. It's beyond words. It's beyond the thoughts. It's beyond the belief system. It's beyond what the mind can grasp. So if things aren't making sense here, you're right on time. You're right on track. You're exactly where you need to be. You're not meant to figure this out. This transmission is not for your mind. It's not meant to make sense, but I'm speaking to those that are receiving this on a heart level, on a soul level, and it's activating the remembrance codes within you so you can rise. Because that's what you're here to do. You're here to activate the sacred codes within others and help them rise. Not because you need to, but because you can't not. It's what your soul came here to experience. You are the way shower. Everybody plays their role, and there's no wrong roles or right roles in this crazy game called humanity that's playing out. You came here as a way shower of a new paradigm. The only problem is you don't get to lead because the you that you think you are dies with the old timeline. If this is resonating with you on any level, it's for a reason. Trust it. I just announced the other day, a couple days ago, maybe it was yesterday, I have no clue, that the doors are open for the Forbidden Feminine Sacred Heart Temple. You are the living transmission. It's time to fully bring it into form. Fully human, fully divine, anchored in your sovereignty as the divine creatrix that you are, and quantum leap into your highest timeline as the living transmission, as the frequency, as the portal that you are. Right now, you can get access to the temple for the same price as one live event. Every time I drop a new edition, the value of the temple rises, the frequency rises, and the price rises. So if you resonate with this at all, now is the time to get in. You do get lifetime access. It's a one-time fee to join, and then after that, it's lifetime access. This is a sacred body of work. It's not a course. It's not a checklist. It's not a to-do list. So if this is resonating with you, I'd love to see you inside the temple. There is no live component to it. Just so you know, it is all pre-recorded transmissions, calibrations, activations, and initiations. And the lives that happen annually for the Forbidden Feminine Black Cat Edition will be included with accessing the temple. So when you enter, you also will receive a ticket to the next live event, which is happening March 13th, 2026. If you want weekly live calls with me, I highly recommend you bundle it together and join Embody the Empress, which is very Magdalene coded content designed to fully help you alchemize the feminine core wound, the feminine shadow, integrate your sacred masculine energy, and embody your Empress energy, which means you've integrated and alchemized. If you think of the tarot, you've integrated and alchemized the four queens. Not only their light side, but also their shadow. And only until that happens can you move into fully embodying the Empress and living from your feminine magnetism. So you can think of Embody the Empress as we dive deep into alchemizing the feminine core wound of unworthiness, which is at the root base of you fully starting to awaken your feminine power and reclaiming your divine sovereignty. So there's a healing element to it, which is really alchemizing the shadow through the light of your consciousness, because you are not innately broken. And the temple is a perfect complement to that. If you want to dive deep into really embracing and coming into union with both your inner light and dark feminine, the unapologetic version of you, the most magnetic version of you, the sacred feminine energy that is rising within you that has been suppressed and repressed. Because you do incorporate both on this journey in order to fully rise into your feminine power. You unify both your light and dark feminine energy, and you also integrate your inner feminine and your sacred masculine. This is part of the journey. So it's up to you. The temple is a one-time payment to get in, and then you get lifetime access. So it's super valuable, super value. The sooner you get in, the more value you have because you bought in at a lower price point, because every time I drop a new edition, it rises. Embody the Empress is a monthly membership. And right now it is an unbelievable rate. Cancel anytime. And when you're ready to step into full-on sacred feminine leadership, then you move into Rise, Sister, Rise. There is no playing small in Rise, Sister, Rise, and you will face all of your fears and alchemize them, because you are on the cusp of a quantum leap and there's no going back. You're going from the lone wolf template, which is dying, and you're moving into sacred leadership. So there's no more hiding, dimming your light, or playing small, and it's moving into your full, unapologetic, sacred feminine leadership. And I don't talk enough about the goddess standard on at the moment, but that's for those, if you know, and you're here to build a legacy. So if any of those resonate for you, I would love to have you. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always DM me on Instagram at Spiritual CEO. That's the best way to get any questions to me. And aside from that, you should be able to find the links wherever you're listening to this. So if this message resonated with you, I'd love to know. And until next time, I hope this finds you well. Namaste.